So
just affords them less leverage.
Exactly, yeah. You're saying, I don't mind if you come along for a cheaper price. I'm going to have position on you, and you've got ICM pressure and I don't, and I'm willing to play poker with you.
Samao defending his big blind, fresh off of the pickup, and now he's found queens up versus the nut flush draw and the aces.
Yeah, these sorts of hands always very awkward, the one that Samao has, where you have two pair that you feel maybe ahead right now, but once a bunch of money starts going in, you don't like your hand that much. So I expect him to just check call if he does face a bet here.
And a bet he shall face. Artur again with the 40K, sub half.
Samao's now chipped up a little bit too, so there's some separation between him and the short stacks, which means he might be feeling even more pressure, especially if that 11 number whittles down to 10 or 9 at some point, when he can really smell the money bubble looming.
Yeah, 4 away from that top 7 payday. Third pair acquired for Samao, added paths to a boat. Really great coverage in terms of only the 9 being able to counterfeit him against the aces. But of course the heart is what's on Artur's mind more than anything else.
Yeah, and probably a better card for Samao's range than for Artur's. Artur's going to have a lot of bigger cards opening, whereas Samao's going to have more of the middle of the deck defending.
Check back from Artur in the full house now for Samao, and a card, ironically enough, that Artur doesn't mind.
Right. I mean, it's interesting to see if Samao goes for a check raise here. Is Artur going to value bet the aces? I think he probably should. And that makes check raising a decent consideration for Samao. On the other hand, a lot of draws missed, and perhaps he just wants to bet something big, polarize himself a little bit, and try to get his opponent to call with some Queen X or even worse.
It cuts a couple of ways, of course. If Artur happens to have a lot of those busted draws, checking would allow him to be induced.
Yeah, I think
Samao does fire the 120.
Yeah, it's a complicated spot, and I think Samao could go either way with this one.
Artur looking over intently. Feels like the right size to get paid, and get paid it does.
Yeah, and you really just have to call Artur's hand, in my opinion. Way too high up in range. River bluff.
Well, to walk away from that hand when we did would be for good reason, and on this occasion, it is an all-in for Jason Koon. He's up against Joao Samao, currently with top 2 pair. He's got the best hand, but you can see a world of outs with both flush draws, and in comes the diamonds, and out goes Jason.
Yeah, that's one the Hold'em players would be surprised at. You know, top 2 pair against 1 pair, and the 2 pair is a pretty big dog on the turn there. Sovereign kind of making fun of himself for the line he just took.
Yeah. He's a tremendously entertaining player to have alongside you. Has some sharp needles, real dry wit.
A bit of self-deprecation at times.
Yeah, yeah. All the ingredients. Meanwhile, in the crock pot back at the feature, we find 3 players, 2 of whom have flush draws. Samao's is nutted.
Yeah, limped pot here. Martirosyan has the worst of it, but he is the aggressor.
Betting 30, getting called by Lonis, who's got the 2-way straight draw and that 10 high flush draw. And Samao, with that flat behind the better, decides to shoot it up.
This is nice from Samao. He can get some ace-X to fold. He probably thinks that a lot of the aces hands that Martirosyan would have raised pre-flop. He's got equity against everything, of course, with the nut flush draw, and it's a little more appealing when you have a flatter in there as well, who you can deny equity to with straight draws or whatever they may have.
So he clears Artur.
And Lonis, if he feels like Samao has a made hand, must feel like he has a decent amount of equity with his 10 high flush draw and his double gutter.
Ooh, and this is a troublesome turn for Jesse, as now he is drawing dead.
Yeah, I think this is most likely just the end of Jesse Lonis, and indeed, he just shoves himself.
Quickly double checking to see he's got the nuts, and the river will be of no consequence. It is a wrap.
Good game, Jesse.
Jesse Lonis and all of the excitement that he brings to any given event are vanquished.
And look, Chino has a very potable hand here. Yoni has also limped quite a strong hand. The ace, king, 5-3 double. All three very playable hands.
You're 190 behind?
Yeah.
Rheem has been looking for a spot like this. Takes it to 60, doesn't shed anyone. And Samau tried to limp, as did Yukomainen. Ace 10-9 with a couple of hearts. Chino has aces up, an open-ender, and the flush draw. Set of tens for Samau.
Yeah, action flop here for those two. I expect Rheem just to pot it. Samau could either call or raise, and then Yoni should most likely fold no matter what Samau does, whether it's a call or a raise.
So Chino's remains ripped in. Zhao will, of course, go nowhere.
Yeah, very tempting just to raise this as Samau. You know that Yoni wouldn't have played aces this way, so you have the best hand right now, and there's a lot you can deny equity to. Like, then again, in position, you could just call and be willing to keep some of Yoni's weaker hands in, but I think I slightly prefer raise.
Yeah, he does as well. Sopping wet board texture.
Fold.
So Yoni's decision with nothing more than ace-king made simple. And Rheem's life made a little difficult.
Though he is the favorite against the set here, Ali, as we can see.
Yeah, an ace or a 9 that fills up. Or I should say the ace.
The ace, the 6, the heart, the jack.
Yeah, that fills up the 10s would be Rheem's card. The 9 would be Samau's. But you see, still, jacks, 6s to make the straight. Hearts, it'll all work. 6% edge with 2 to come for Chino. 7. Lowers him to 25%.
Yeah, it doesn't change much. Now the chop on the 6 or the jack.
6 of diamonds, I think.
Yeah, not clean winners anymore. Those straight cards as Foxen's on hand for a peek. No longer in this event, and we can now say that about Chino Rheem as well. Showered by Samau, who has been the one-man wrecking crew here at the featured table.
Big flop for Joao.
Yeah, 10-9-8-6. He's got the straight draw.
This, by the way, is the type of board that generally favors the big blind, but the situation's a little different now, Ali, because Martirosian with his big chip lead on the table. Oh, excuse me, Samau does have a lot of chips too, so
yeah.
I'll go back to my original way of thinking. Let's say Samau had a shorter stack, then you could see it being actually a decent board for Artur, who'd be opening very wide. But in isolation, this is generally a better board for the big blind, and this lead makes a lot of sense to me.
How many time backs you used?
4.
To go with that aforementioned straight draw, of course, there's a pair and clubs.
Yeah, and just too much hand versus this size to fold for Artur. Backdoor nut
I would give
hearts.
some to you if I would be allowed, just so you know.
4 on the turn. Martirosian picking up a wheel gutter.
Another good hand for a good card for Samau's range. He should have more 7-6 than his opponent.
Why? What do you mean?
And I think this is a very nice, clean double barrel. It might look a bit mergy to people, but the idea is this is just such a good card for your range, and you bet the flop. You get to just continue to apply a lot of pressure, and given the size you bet on the flop, probably keeping a lot of overpairs in on the flop that might have to fold now on the turn. This looks like a very nicely played hand from Samau, and it should just work right here. Or not. Martirosian perhaps picking up on something, realizing how wide Samau could be betting this turn.
Especially when he's the big blind defender. He's looking up at this board texture, and he's saying, I know you're tempted to rep this. And look at this river. Martirosian has made the wheel
kind of a disaster for Samao because he might feel compelled to bluff now with a 6 in his hand. It's a little concerning that it's the deuce, though, because, you know, his opponent could have a number of those ace-ace plus wheel card combinations.
What?
545.
25?
545.
Well, as you suspected, in comes the bluff. Full pot, max pressure application here from Martirosyan. Remember, Artur potted it pre, Samao defended, and then barreled all 3 streets into Martirosyan.
And he folds the river. So my inclination was that I thought perhaps Artur would make that call just because his call on the turn already indicated some level of suspicion.
Play free online poker with Maria Ho this Wednesday on Play Poker Go. Hit the 10K gold, no gamble, no future sit and goes. Play with Maria and double your prize. Plus, play a single hand to get entered to win a dream seat into the PGT $1 Million Championship. Download the Play Poker Go app for free today at playpokergo.com. Wow.
And if I'm Samao here, I think I just want to isolate, right? Thinking that if I happen to run into 9s from Martirosyan, it's a disaster, but some of those hands would have just raised the flop.
Yeah,
it's a little awkward.
Jared blasting off for the 340.
310?
Check that. 320 and left 20 behind, is that right? Yep. I think pot wasn't quite the full 340.
I think if you're Samao here, you just need to try to deny equity to whatever type of draw Martirosyan might have and run it against Bleznick.
Yeah, he agrees. And just think about how many hands are supposed to take this stone bubble spot into consideration and just recognize that what's appropriate is to bow out.
And look at Martirosyan now. He,
Yeah.
and he does make the fold.
Wow.
What'd you have?
Begrudgingly but appropriately,
I folded.
especially as we can see. He was cooked.
Yeah, great fold, and to do it so quickly, impressive.
That is it.
He has a set of 8s.
So Blez, hunting 5s, 10s, hearts.
Huh? You have all my outs. You had a 9 too?
Yeah.
What'd you have?
10, 9, 8.
Your top 2?
Top 2 and flush draw.
Wow. I guess the only good news is if I make my hand, I can win. You have a heart too?
Yeah, if you make your hand, then it's very tough to improve. The 3 is already there.
It is.
Also
Hand for hand here. So Reardon and Weisman, along with Yockey and
They're all
Sovrel,
sweating up here. This is fucking. They're all so happy if I go broke.
able to
They're
look
so
on
happy.
and
You're
anti-sweat.
so happy if I go. Just pair it, right?
I didn't have
The
single.
whole room's going to explode here. Laszlo's going to beat me for $1 million.
Not many pairs.
One card removed.
I have a 7. I need a
From
5,
the
10,
money.
or heart. And you had all of it. Wow.
5.
You guys can celebrate all you want.
Jared Bleznick.
Enjoy it all. Enjoy it all. You could celebrate all you want.
Blez feeling swaggy.
Oh man, I love this studio, man. I love playing poker here. You guys could take a seat, all of you.
The blade would
Call.
normally be in here.
Lautaro Guerra is a
All right, all-time
notable
winningest
one.
Pot Limit Omaha tournament player.
Elis
the Spaniard.
Parsonen. Yeah. I know both of those guys. Elis has a couple daughters, and
Don't deal yet.
Lautaro had a kid himself a couple years ago, so maybe that work-life balance you're referring to.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
Parsonen might be swinging the clubs,
7,
Yeah.
although it
740, or
hasn't proved to be a mutually exclusive endeavor as
735 behind.
Yanni's been out there with
Okay.
you.
Yeah, we played together yesterday morning, and he
Meanwhile,
bagged the chip lead. No coincidence, of course.
Martirosyan playing with the driver here. Aces. Got shot straight draw picked up on this king high 2-heart board.
Set of 5s for the Blez. Kind of a tricky one for Martirosyan.
It's that ace of hearts though that keeps you invested.
Yeah, a little bit shallower. and he could just actually pot this and go with it. But at this
Just
depth,
to be clear, my hand's dead.
wise to employ a little bit more caution. And now is Bleznick. Do you just pot it? Do you call, try to see a safe turn?
There's your answer. Flats to 75. Another $1.50 into the middle. And note that this depth that Artur is forced to navigate.
Does he just announce pot? Yeah, on the other hand,
Yeah, I suppose the math.
and if you're up against King 9, you could hit a 4 or a 5 as well, and he does
Yeah.
make the call.
He doesn't expect to be in front
What you guys said?
Right.
in this spot. Artur wants to find a 6 or an ace to burst it. And instead, it's the queen. And now, Bleznick cooking with gas.
The Blez.
Alex.
Covered.
In it goes. Might this be Dylan's last stand? Just half a big blind.
80.
Still 20 to go. Sovril providing isolation and some insulation. Unclear what's prompted him to do that.
It's interesting because Sovril actually
I've
wants
never
to keep
seen anyone
Dylan
do that.
around, Dolly. When Dylan is this short, Sovril can really put a ton
never
of pressure
happened.
on the other stacks. And look at Sam Sovril's stack, by the way. He's up to 2.8 million.
It has been all Sovril of late. No Reardon hanging in here. Monotone 10 high board. Sovril with the spades.
Check. Check.
Not looking to bet them. Main pot complete. Active side where the bulk of the chips lie between Sovril and Reardon. John picking up a gutter to go with 4s. Nothing thrilling as monotone board textures do tend to freeze action.
10 seconds.
Healthy side pot here to play for.
Goes check, check. Now the spades no longer as cozy as they were a moment ago. It's going to be the end for Dylan Weisman, as we know.
Yeah, he probably figures he has a 5 to 10% chance to have the best hand here with those 2 6s.
Yeah.
Maybe even less than that.
Check.
It's always painful when you're sitting there trying to keep your poker face when you know you're about to be hitting the rail.
In all likelihood, and especially increased likelihood when we see Sovril barrel the end. Oh my.
Wow.
Yeah, no.
Now Dylan certainly knows the 6s are no good. GG's issued as the bubble bursts, and so do the hopes of Reardon.
100.
And by tournament rules, Reardon has to show his hand. Look at Sam having a look at the 4 cards. That was a wild call.
Played it first.
And he's going to lead right into Jared.
I think if Jared had more to go with his Jack-8, he might just raise right now, but without a straight draw to go with it, I wouldn't hate just seeing him call. His hand plays really well in position. He's got the backdoor diamonds.
And backdoor Broadway prospects as well. He agrees with your assessment. Smoothing the 60. And now finding not just the straight, but a redraw to a better straight.
225.
Pot.
And Jared just snaps as pot, and Sam's going to just stick this in. And
Well, he's nutted, but Blez with an opportunity to take a big bite out of Sovril here. 2.1 plus.
And we've seen this before from Jared Bleznick, hands that other people might just call in position. He takes this aggressive semi-bluff line with.
Good luck.
He's got 15 outs.
Jack, 8, King, 9 would chop it. And then the diamond, of course.
4 of those outs busy, by the way, so 11 in actuality. Actually, more than that, forgive me. Looks like 6 of those outs are spoken for at the top of your screen. The cards grayed out in the shadows. Not available. Kings, 9s, diamonds. 8s. Is any of it there? No, it isn't.
Jared. Yeah.
A 4 on the end, and a swift exit for Jared Bleznick, improbably given the ICM of that Yockey stack.
Yeah, our 2023 champion there could have just called that in position, decided to go for a semi-bluff, ran into the nuts of Sam Soverel, who now is our overwhelming chip leader, and we say goodbye to Jared Bleznick, but impressive showing once again, his 3rd consecutive cash in this event.
Play free online poker with Maria Ho this Wednesday on Play Poker Go. Hit the 10K gold, no gamble, no future sit and goes. Play with Maria and double your prize. Plus, play a single hand to get entered to win a dream seat into the PGT $1 Million Championship. Download the Play Poker Go app for free today at playpokergo.com.
But not great interaction. Yes, he blocks top pair. The 10 Jack-Jack cards you'd want in Soverel's range, and as Soverel, I like just potting it here off of this stack to pot ratio.
The other issue for Yockey, of course, if he does choose to lead,
But he
even
does
full
check.
pot with 555 behind in total, as it does go check, and Soverel gets there, you're just not going to shed Queen's Plus from Sam if it happens to be across the way. So not having the amount of fold equity that you would maybe need.
Right, I agree, and I think if you're not going to pot the flop, I also like check as an option because there's a bit of deception value on all the cards that improve you.
10 seconds.
And indeed, Yockey may be taking the bait here, putting that Jack of Diamonds to work, but he's run into it.
That he has.
Soverel just going to call this one and try to induce a bluff from Yockey on the river, I would think.
Well, he's trying to think about what is the most efficient way to try to get all of Yockey's chips. And I tend to lean toward his decision, like yourself, Alex. And now Yockey makes a set of jacks on the end. You could feel like this is good against a lot of Ace X plus.
Yeah. This is a really weird card for Bryce. Of course he knows that Soverel can check back some flush draws on the flop. He also knows that when he bets that small in the turn, Soverel could call with potentially just an ace with a diamond blocker, certainly all the aces up. It wouldn't be crazy for Yockey to want to pursue value here in the form of a small bet, most likely, but he does just check, knowing that there are some flushes in Soverel's check back range.
And this is where Soverel could make it very weird.
10 seconds.
Pot.
That's 395.
Wow.
And it's a weird spot for Yockey. Now he has to figure out what Sam's natural bluffs are, and I suppose they would be some floats that contain a big diamond, given the size. The thing that could talk Yockey into making a call here is the size he bet on the turn, being so small, 75K into a pot of 245, which could invite some lighter floats. It's so mergy, right? Like, sometimes you see these weird computer moves where they'll bet this.
Oh.
Yockey calls. Soverel, continuing to get after it here with King, Queen, 6-6.
Delighted, of course, by the presence of Yockey with 85K. An arresting reality for the remainder of this field. Yockey all in now.
Martirosyan has a weak hand, but he has to decide if he wants to call and try to help eliminate Yockey.
Yeah, kind of a tandem effort with Soverel, but the trouble is he could end up in the crosshairs himself.
Exactly.
So he does bow out. Soverel will pull back.
I hope we chop it up, man.
Uh-oh.
Deuce, 3, 4,
Yeah, 5 and
sixes.
6 of clubs.
Still in front.
Sweat.
As long as there's a 5, too.
11 outs with just 8 of them live. Board
Okay,
pairing
one more 6
4 does produce the club draw now for Yockey. He expands.
You have the whole deck. Like,
You're going to have an overpair of 6s. It's going to be a 3. You're just going to have 6s on the river. And they're going
4s. I can make a boat.
Bryce lacking optimism, and for good reason.
Yeah.
6s holding on as Yockey's grip on this year's High Roller Bowl slips.
Yeah, another strong showing for Bryce Yockey. He's got a good record in PLO tournaments, 6th place, 225K.
Play free online poker with Maria Ho this Wednesday on Play Poker Go. Hit the 10K gold, no gamble, no future sit and goes. play with Maria and double your prize. Plus, play a single hand to get entered to win a dream seat into the PGT $1 Million Championship. Download the Play Poker Go app for free today at playpokergo.com.